I think that anybody that has any interest in nature and natural history has at some time been inspired by Charles Darwin and what he found during his visit to the Galapagos Islands. I certainly was. This is a strange, beautiful, remarkable place. The word unique absolutely applies here. There are so many creatures that exist nowhere else on Earth. The proximity of these animals, the degree to which they lack fear, that you can just stand next to them and they just look at you or ignore you, is unlike anything anywhere in the world. It will never leave you if you go to the Galapagos Islands. You will have stories for the rest of your life, I promise you. Since my first visit to the Galapagos Islands in 1966, and I remember vividly the first time I went there, how extraordinary it was, how surprised I was, how delighted I was at more or less everything I saw. And I just came back from the Galapagos last week, and I was reflecting on the time there, and I don't think I felt much different. Every single time I've been to this extraordinary place, it amazes me. It's the most remarkable place on Earth.
Welcome to Galapagos, everyone. This is a wonderful time of the year to visit these magical islands. It's the warm season, and there's lots going on shore. This afternoon, we're going to visit North Seymour Island, where we have blue-footed boobies that are courting. They're frigate birds. We may get to see them with their pouches blown up and displaying for a mate. Sea lions, iguanas, both marine and land. This is a fabulous way to start the trip.
When I first went to Galapagos, the ship really didn't matter. And we've learned that these days people have lots of desires that we would like to accommodate while still offering an expedition and an adventure in this remarkable place. The 48-guest National Geographic Islander is a really comfortable, intimate ship, perfectly suited for our informal expeditions of the Galapagos Islands. The 96-guest National Geographic Endeavour is a classic ocean-going ship, lots of space. And so while you do lots of things together with your fellow travelers, there's plenty of places aboard where you can just hang out on your own. Even though you're very remote, 600 miles away from continental South America, you can stay in touch with your family and friends via our email stations. You know, a nice thing on the National Geographic Islander and the Endeavour is that if you're interested in navigation, you can go on the bridge anytime you like. The captain and the officers are delighted to have you up there, and you can learn a thing or two about navigation. We've realized that over the years that people are really broadening their interest in food, so we paid a lot of attention to that. We have lots and lots of different things from Peru and Ecuador. For those of you who want to stay fit, if you're not getting enough hiking ashore, we have small gyms on both of our ships.
We are on the islands of Fernandina, which is one of the most pristine islands that we have here in the Galapagos. 350,000 years old, and it just last erupted in the year 2009.
I think more or less everybody in the world that has any interest in natural history has some understanding about what goes on land in the Galapagos Islands. What isn't known nearly as well as the undersea. And you, when you travel with us, will have an opportunity to engage in the undersea on many, many different levels. If you're a snorkeler, you'll have an opportunity to snorkel nearly every day. If you're a scuba diver, we can make arrangements for you to go scuba diving. If you're not interested in getting wet, on one of our ships, the National Geographic Endeavour, we have a glass-bottom boat, and so you can see what's going on under the water with that. A number of years ago, we discovered that there was an increased interest in kayaking. We had been kayaking in Baja California and in Alaska, had developed the ability to kayak in polar regions in the Arctic and Antarctica, but kayaking really wasn't allowed in the Galapagos Islands, and so we worked together with the national parks to develop kayaking. And now we have kayaks on both our ships, the National Geographic Endeavour and the National Geographic Islander. And then we have technology which can take you deeper. We have an ROV that can go down to 500 feet, and this is a very, very interesting realm that we can discover on a daily basis and share with you what's found.
Welcome to Santiago or James Island. This afternoon we have different activities. The first one will be relaxing at the beach, having some snorkeling. It's very, very nice. And then we have a hike. We will be looking for some seabirds, shorebirds, sea lions, marine iguanas are all over. This will be one of the best chances to see them.
One of the things we learned long ago was that people have very different inclinations about what they want to do when they get ashore, what they're able to do when they get ashore. What we want to do is give people as much choice as possible. If you want to go really slowly and focus on photography, one of our naturalists will gather those of you so inclined and do that. If some of you want to just take a longer, more vigorous hike on a particular day, our naturalists will figure out who you are and help you do that. If something's a bit rougher than you'd like, there'll be an alternative. Beginning in January 2011, every one of our departures will have a Lindblad National Geographic certified photo instructor aboard. Whether you're a point-and-shoot photographer or a serious SLR photographer, they will help you make the best out of a great photographic opportunity. We are very, very geared to one thing above all else, which is making sure that you get what you want out of your experience. One of the things that I find extraordinary about Galapagos, a tremendous number, particularly in the summer, of our guests are multi-generation, a grandfather and a grandmother taking their kids and their grandkids. And what's fun about it is that you're not separated. The interest of a child and the interest of an adult are aligned. So when I take my kids there, every day we wake up and we do whatever we do together and are delighted to do it together. And that's a wonderful, wonderful thing to do. Guests can be this extraordinary force for conservation. And now we've developed programs together with our guests that raise approximately $600,000 a year that we're able to utilize to support conservation, community development, artisan development, and science in the Galapagos Islands. And it's largely because of our guests and their desire to convert an experience into action that's positive so that their children and their grandchildren will have the opportunity to visit these islands at some point in the future. I believe that we offer a really, really compelling and interesting way to go there for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is that we've been doing this for a very long time, back since 1966. And so we have come to understand the islands, understand the opportunities, understand what people are looking for, I believe perhaps better than anybody out there.